Krispy Kreme stock just wrapped up Thursday's session, and after a week that's been anything but ordinary, today felt like the market finally hit the pause button. DNUT opened with some early strength, likely riding the tail end of Tuesday and Wednesday's meme-fueled momentum, but as the session went on, that strength gradually faded. No major crash, no panic selling, but definitely a shift in tone. You could feel that the energy driving this trade had cooled down. That said, the stock still showed signs of resilience. It held above key support zones and managed to bounce slightly in the aftermarket, nothing dramatic, but enough to suggest there's still some life left in this move. That little uptick after the bell hints that traders aren't done watching this yet. Whether they're lining up for another breakout or just being cautious, it's clear that DNUT hasn't completely lost its audience. Let's zoom out a bit. Earlier in the week, this thing was a rocket. A simple 88-cent donut promo celebrating Krispy Kreme's 88th birthday sparked a ton of buzz on social media. But it wasn't the promo itself, it was the momentum that followed. Retail traders flooded in, recognizing the setup, a well-known brand, still trading relatively cheap, with over 30% of its float sold short. That's meme stock gold. And for 2 straight days, the play worked. DNUT jumped over 26% on Tuesday, then soared another 34% in after-hours trading. Wednesday opened hot, continued climbing pre-market, and despite losing steam late in the day, it closed way above Monday's levels. It was the kind of rally that gets everyone talking, especially in the meme stock crowd. But now we're entering a more uncertain phase. Today's slower price action came with a noticeable dip in enthusiasm. Retail chatter on Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter has dropped off. The memes aren't flying quite as fast, and the FOMO-driven posts that filled message boards earlier in the week have been replaced with caution and should I sell threads. That's not a bad thing, it just means the easy money may have already moved through the system. But here's the key, the short interest is still there. Around a third of the float remains sold short. That's a lot of pressure waiting to be unwound if the right catalyst comes along. And let's not overlook the timing, Friday often brings fresh volatility to meme stocks. It's the final day of the trading week. Option contracts expire. Traders reposition heading into the weekend. We've seen it before, a stock like DNUT gets quiet on Thursday, only to rip again on Friday as a new wave of attention floods in. So what should you be watching for? First, volume. If DNUT starts seeing a spike in pre-market volume on Friday, that could be your first clue that a new push is building. Second, retail sentiment. If Reddit or X starts lighting up again, especially with screenshots of positions, calls being bought, or short squeeze memes making a comeback, that could signal another rally is near. And third, options flow. Watch the call activity. If options traders start leaning back into weekly or next week calls with size, that's often a leading indicator of renewed momentum. But, and this is a big but, you've got to be realistic here. The fundamentals haven't changed. Krispy Kreme's recent earnings weren't great. They've got debt, and revenue declined last quarter. There's no acquisition news, no major partnership, no transformational product on the horizon. This is a sentiment trade, plain and simple. That's why managing risk is so important right now. If you've been riding this wave since Tuesday, you're probably sitting on solid gains. Friday could be an opportunity to squeeze more out of the move, or it could be the start of a cool-off phase as traders shift their attention elsewhere. Make sure you have an exit plan, protect your profits, and don't let the meme hype get ahead of your strategy. To wrap it up, DNUT is still very much in play. It's paused, but not done. The aftermarket bounce shows there's still interest. Short interest remains elevated. And if retail traders decide to re-engage heading into Friday's session, this could fire back up fast. We'll be watching closely to see if Friday brings another sugar rush, or if this donut's finally cooled.